Is there something you can point to in your life, political life or in your life in the last 4 years, that you think is a mistake that you have learned from?
I mean, I've made many mistakes. And they range from, you know, if you've ever parented a child, you know, you make lots of mistakes too. In my role as vice president, I mean, I've probably worked very hard at making sure that I am well versed on issues, and I think that is very important. It's a mistake not to be well versed on an issue and feel compelled to answer a question.
As you saw from that opening clip, Kamala Harris gave another word salad buffet performance at the CNN town hall last night. And you won't believe the questions that she was getting were so simple. They were layups. They were layups that all she has to do is explain to the American people what she stands for, what she stands on. But she spent the whole time talking about Donald Trump, as if the most investigated man over the last decade, like everybody don't know. And as a matter of fact, there is nothing else that they can pull out about Trump that we don't know. You know it's bad when, to validate their quote-unquote racist point, they go back to stuff like this. In 1973, a quote-unquote legal issue that came up where there was accusations that Trump Tower wasn't, one of Trump's hotels wasn't renting to black people. And guess what happened with that case? Absolutely nothing. There was no validity to it. It was actually settled out of court, no issues, no hoopla. That was 1973. Then we got the 1984-85 when he put out the ad with the Central Park Five, the 5 young men who admitted that they had assaulted and raped a lady, and one of their friends is the one that went and told the police that. So everybody, and you know what most people don't know? It was a Democrat prosecutor and district attorney that actually put the charges on them boys. But yet it comes back to a businessman who wasn't in politics, who put out an ad. But enough about Trump. I don't want to do what Kamala does and talk about Trump. Check out this next clip when she was asked about how she would bring down the price of goods. Check this out.
Regarding the rapid increase in the migrant population, how will you ensure that every immigrant is integrated into American society safely? What benefits and subsidies will you provide them with? And how long will these benefits and subsidies last for an individual? Most importantly, will the American citizens' taxes pay for these benefits and subsidies? And if so, how much money will be allocated?
Well, thank you, Jackson. Let's start with this. America's immigration system is broken, and it needs to be fixed. And it's been broken for a long time. And part of what we need to do is always prioritize what we need to do to strengthen our border. I will tell you, I'm the only person in this race among the two choices that voters have. I've personally prosecuted transnational criminal organizations in the trafficking of guns, drugs, and human beings. I have spent a significant part of my career making sure that our border is secure and that we do not allow criminals in, and we don't allow that kind of trafficking to happen and come into our country. And as my opponent has proven himself, he would prefer to run on the problem instead of fix the problem.
Now, if you see the background is different, I'm actually visiting family. And, this is the lake right in St. Clair Shore, Michigan. But now, you heard that word salad buffet. Why can't this lady just answer a question? Like, why is it so hard? And listen, here's the crazy thing about it. She should know that these questions are coming. We all know that they're coming, right? We know that she's going to get them. And you would think somebody in her campaign would have wrote something down and said, look, even if it wasn't just a generalized response, all of those people that's around her, you mean tell me somebody can't come up with the proper responses prior to each town hall or meeting? And you mean to tell me that this woman has been in politics, been in VP for 4 years, is running for president, and she can't articulate her stance without a teleprompter? But enough of that. Check out this next question on immigration. Do me a solid. If you haven't already, hit that like button. And if you aren't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, turn on all so you'll be updated when I release new videos.
Let me ask you about that. I mean, you talk about the bill that Donald Trump quashed. That was in 2024. You talk about the bill he tried to get passed in 2021. That wasn't able to get passed. 2022, 2023, there were record border crossings. Your administration took hundreds of executive actions. It didn't stem the flow. Numbers kept going up. Finally, in 2024, just in June, 3 weeks before the first presidential debate with Joe Biden, you institute executive actions that had a dramatic impact, really shut down people crossing over. Why didn't your administration do that in 2022, 2023?
First of all, you're exactly right, Anderson. And as of today, we have cut the flow of immigration by over half. In fact, the numbers I saw most recently, illegal immigration
But if
is
it was
low.
that easy
But hold on,
with
let me
that
finish.
executive action, why not do it in 2022, 2023?
Because we were working with Congress and hoping that actually we could have a long-term fix to the problem instead of a short-term fix.
You couldn't have done one and both at the same time?
Well, here's the thing. We have to understand that ultimately this problem is going to be fixed through congressional action. We have dealt with it such that, to your point, we now, as of today, as of our visit, have lower undocumented immigrants and illegal immigration than Trump when he left office.
That's true.
But we need a permanent solution, and that requires bipartisan work.
Do you wish you'd done those executive orders in 2022, 2023?
I think we did the right thing, but the best thing that can happen for the American people is that we have bipartisan work happening, and I pledge to you that I will work across the aisle to fix this long-standing problem. I think the American people are demanding it on both sides of the aisle.
Now, all of the talk, she was one of the most vile people going off about Trump with the border wall, called it vanity, called it crazy. Matter of fact, check out what she said about the border wall a few years ago.
Is a border wall stupid?
Well, let's talk about Donald Trump and that border wall. So remember, Donald Trump said Mexico would pay for it? Come on, they didn't. How much of that wall did he build? I think the last number I saw is about 2%. And then when it came time for him to do a photo op, you know where he did it? In the part of the wall that President Obama built.
But you're agreeing to a bill that would earmark $650 million to continue building that wall.
I pledge that I am going to bring forward that bipartisan bill to further strengthen and secure our border. Yes, I am. And I'm going to work across the aisle to pass a comprehensive bill that deals with a broken immigration system. I think Jackson's question, part of it was to acknowledge that America has always had migration, but there needs to be a legal process for it. People have to earn it. And that's the point that I think is the most important point that can be made, which is we need a president who is grounded in common sense and practical outcomes. Like, let's just fix this thing. Let's just fix it. Why is there any ideological perspective on this? Let's just fix the problem.
To fix the problem, you're doing this compromise bill. It does call for $650 million that was earmarked under Trump to actually still go to build the wall.
I am not afraid of good ideas where they occur.
So you don't think it's stupid anymore?
I think what he did and how he did it did not make much sense because he actually didn't do much of anything. I just talked about that wall, right? We just talked about it. He didn't actually do much of anything.
But you do want to build some wall.
I want to strengthen our border.
Now, as usual, she's totally flip-flopped, and Anderson Cooper is trying to pin her down, and here's why. You got the progressive left that they want the borders wide open. They want everybody and their mama coming over here. Why? Because they see it as an easy way for them to be able to collect votes and hopefully stay in power forever. But she didn't answer that. She couldn't even answer that about immigration. How crazy is that? Everybody's on to the fact that as borders are, we had millions of people pouring in, and now she talks like she's just this great person. And here's another thing about when she says, and I wish they would push back on this, when she talks about prosecuting transnational organizations, blah, 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 she was a state district attorney. People crossing the border is a federal issue. She would have nothing to do with that. And so that's a flat out lie. She's never prosecuted a member of sex trafficking across the border. Never. But that's not all. That's not it. Check out this.
The work that I have done that has been about recognizing the importance of dealing with border security, that has never changed.
And I'm being serious when I say this. At this point, anybody that is still undecided, either like was gone for the last few years and was in a Buddhist monk temple that didn't have televisions or anything like that, or they're just delusional and just not in tune with what's going on. There is no way in the world anybody can, with a sane mind, vote for this woman with confidence that she would lead our country and help us become that shining light on the hill again. We need DT to be able to do that. We need Donald Trump to be able to do that. And whether you listen, does Trump say things some people don't like? Yeah. Why? Because he speaks his mind. Most of these politicians, and not even politicians, most people speak through filters. They'll lie to you because they don't want to hurt your feelings. It's like having something in your nose and your buddy don't want to tell you, but he'd rather you, because they don't want to hurt your feelings, but rather you walk around looking crazy. No. My Thor, come here. Yeah, my dog is right over here. For this doggone, we got the water right there. Then my main man is out here. I tell you, I'm out here for a walk so he can have him. I don't want him to jump off this doggone. All right, but back to it. So the mainstream media is losing its mind because it's losing its leverage. It's losing its touch. People don't pay attention to them. It's people like you and I that are out here spreading the good word. And so speaking about that, spreading the good word, do me a solid. If you haven't already, hit that like button. And if you aren't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, turn on all so you'll be updated when I release new videos. But this is just wild. And I want them to put her out more and more every day. Oh my God, Kamala Harris is the gift that keeps on giving. The best strategy they had was the basement strategy. Now looking back in hindsight, and Joe Biden, much better candidate. But guess what? The Democrats, who don't care about democracy, threw him out and installed who they wanted. So that's what we got. Hey, but other than that, man, I hope y'all having a bang out day. I'm going to be up here, like I said, with my family. We actually we lost a member. My stepmother passed away. And so we having her services this weekend. But other than that, I hope you have a great day. Stay focused, stay determined. Make sure you get out and vote. And I look forward to seeing you at the top. Over and out.